What it means to me to play for Coach Ferentz, for me it's humbling. I mean, to be around someone who's been around football and has been the head coach here for so long, and see the amount of respect he gets from everyone, it's true inspiration.
I know a lot of, maybe kind of a random question, I know a lot of guys have talked to Jordan Montgomery. I think you were just on his podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe, I think he released like yesterday or something like that. I guess how has maybe Jordan or some other guys in that circle just kind of helped keep you in alignment on your end of the day goals, and like for you coming back and through the injury and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, guys like Jordan, guys like Bobby Thompson, there's a group of guys that they don't really care about who I am as a football player, and I think that's what means the most to me. And that's those guys have truly, I've added them to my circle, honestly, and through an injury you realize who are your closest friends, and when people are there with you when you're dealing with adversity, it means something, and it means a lot to me. And Jordan was one of those guys over the course of the last year that I've relied on for communication and inspiration and motivation. And I loved going on that podcast with him. That was actually a few weeks ago before camp, but I think it just got released, and I couldn't say enough good things about that dude and the way he's treated me and the way that we've interacted.
How hungry are you, given the obviously lack of amount of time that you've been able to really actually even play here? Just how hungry are you to get out there and play?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty eager to go out there and play some football, honestly. And I think being off the field for so long, it's just like this is like where I'm supposed to be. And I think that's a good feeling that sometimes I mean, I've been hurt for almost 2 years, so I'm just really excited, and I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to just be back in it. What's your question, Six?
So a lot of people say that you copied my haircut. Just give a little insight where you got the inspiration, and then what you really thought you could do with that.
Yeah, so actually I'm the one who invented this haircut. It's actually called the Warhawk, and this is me and my follicle engineer Bobby Thompson. We came up with it, and I've noticed that there are multiple guys who are starting to rock a faded mohawk now, and I mean, I don't know if I can trademark or copyright it or something, but yours looks pretty all right, but you still got some work to do.
Okay. Thanks for your time.
Maybe that's your relationship with Marco. What do you see from him?
I mean, he's like a little brother to me, honestly, and he's got a really good personality, as you can see. But yeah, I mean, that's my little bro. I mean, I think I'm really excited for what the future lies for Marco. But overall, he's just a really good dude. He's actually my roommate in camp right now, and we really enjoy each other's company.
What's a couple of words or a phrase you'd use to describe the quarterback room between, especially you, Brendan, and Marco?
A couple words. I would probably say, I mean, just to describe all of us, I mean, right now, I mean, it's pretty hardworking. I mean, for us, like, Coach Lesser has really used the term, learning by drinking through a fire hose, and that's kind of like what the overload of information has been over the course of the last couple months. So I think all of us are like trying to stay afloat, I guess, in that terms. But I mean, we're just a couple, we're just like normal dudes. I mean, we're Christ followers. I know all of us take that to heart, and all of us are pretty big family guys as well.
You've got a wide receiver room that maybe we don't know a whole lot about right now. What do you think the growth trajectory of that group could be?
I mean, I think, the sky's the limit. I think, the amount of growth that they've already had through camp so far has been awesome. I mean, the addition with Jacob, and, we got some younger guys that are starting to emerge. It's pretty awesome to see.
What was it like the first day of camp when you got in 11-1, like the first time after that long wait? What did that, first of all, how was your performance, and then how maybe has it grown in these 8 days?
Yeah, I had a little bit of happy feet, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I dropped back and I was like, I usually, it went a little fast, but, it's obviously slowed down a little bit, and the more reps, the better for me right now. But, I mean, just to be back out there, I mean, emotionally, it was like, I didn't skip a beat when it came to like calling the play in the huddle, and like just like seeing the guys, waiting for it and everything. And I mean, that's like the most exciting thing, is like, especially as a quarterback, is just get in the huddle and just know that, those boys are counting on you. And I mean, I'm just happy to be with such an awesome group of guys, and I think that's what made it so special for me.
What's been the quickest to come back, for you?
The biggest.
Set-wise, you know, like to naturally come back.
Okay.
You know, now that you're on the field again.
I think it's just staying calm through I think getting to the end of my progressions. I mean, it's pretty easy for a quarterback to, you know, diagnose a coverage and throw it to your first read every single time. And I think, you know, as the more reps I've gotten, I think the combination of getting through my progressions and also really just seeing a bunch of different looks that I haven't seen in this offense yet has been the biggest thing. And I think, you know, whether we're testing out different situations and different plays in those areas of the field. I mean, this is the first time I've seen, you know, that picture with this offense before. And I think just really just the more reps that I can stack up with those particular plays and those situations has really just been the biggest growth for me.
What kind of year could it be for Luke?
What's that?
What kind of year could it be for Luke?
I mean, Luke is obviously an awesome player and just an unbelievable person, but I think as far as, you know, his potential for this season, I think he can 100% be the best tight end in the country.
Are you happy with where you're at 8 days into camp, where you thought you might be?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm definitely happy. I mean, I guess you could say, I mean, I definitely want to just continue to get better, honestly. I think, you know, the faster that I can get comfortable with the terminology and just making everything, you know, second nature, I think that's what I'm chasing. But overall, how my body feels, how I'm throwing the football, I'm very happy with that.
Lester was saying you're really hard on yourself. If you missed something.
Yeah, I'm quite a critique on myself. Yeah, and
but he said it's okay. You know,
yeah, it is okay.
Are, right?
Yeah, that's who I am, and you know, that's. I mean, I think anyone who's a competitor and they want to, you know, perform at their very best, and I think they're, you know, if I make a mistake, you know, I do my best to not make that mistake again because I'm trying to be the best I can, be the best quarterback, and be the best leader for this team.
You talked a little bit earlier about the drinking through the fire hose analogy, but when you look back to where this offense was a year ago to what it is today and where you are today, what's maybe the biggest change or the biggest difference you see in it?
I think overall, I think it's just everyone's knowledge of the offense. I think, you know, for me, I've been in multiple different offenses and with multiple different coordinators over the course of my career, but these guys, for the guys who have been at Iowa, they've had the same offense since they've been at Iowa. So I think for them, you know, to go through a change, it's not easy. I remember my first time with switching the offense. I actually remember my very first 2 weeks at college. They switched the playbook out, and I was like, oh, I guess I studied all that for nothing. But I mean, for all these guys, I mean, you're talking about like older players, like, you know, especially the O-line, like Nick DeYoung, like these are guys who've mastered, you know, a particular offense for so many years, and then now they're, you know, asked to like learn a completely different one. I think just the overall knowledge of everyone on the team and how they're getting more comfortable with the new terminology and the new schemes and everything, I think that's just been our biggest thing.
What do you in the offense want to prove this year?
I mean, we're not really looking to prove anything, and we just want to win football games. I think, you know, we want to play to our potential and we want to play our very best, and that's what we're just striving to do right now.
Coach Lester's scheme, and how are things going for you?
Yeah, it's going really well. You know, obviously there's a learning curve within every offense, but you know, Coach Lester and all the quarterbacks in the room have been doing a good job helping me, guiding me through it. So, you know, I feel good with my performance throughout camp so far.
What's your relationship like with Cade at the moment?
It's pretty good. You know, we're both competitive guys, both guys that strive to get better and strive in competition. And so he's been an awesome guy to me, and it's been a really good relationship so far.
What was it when you were, looking at different schools? What was it about Iowa that stood out and made you want to come here?
Yeah, so yeah, just the grittiness and the kind of the tradition Iowa has. I feel like I fit that, the toughness of every Iowa football player. It's always tough playing against them, so, finally on their side.
I'm curious to hear, I mean, do you feel like you're kind of on a level playing field in terms of learning this offense? Because it's a new offensive coordinator for everybody else this year. Even though you're transferred, do you feel like everybody's kind of learning this offense at the same level?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's definitely some experienced guys and guys that have more knowledge of the game, but definitely a level playing field of learning the offense for sure.
You and Gil live together, right? I mean, yeah. How's that going? Just both of you adjusting to a new system, a new Big Ten school. You guys both together. I mean, do you feel like it's been a comfortable process having him here as kind of a safety net or something like that?
Yeah, it's made it that much better. I mean, we lived together all our years at Northwestern, so having my best friend come with me and then us guiding each other throughout this process has just made it that much better.
What's the maybe the most difficult part about transferring that we wouldn't see?
I mean, just you didn't come in with these guys. You weren't bonding for the last 3 years with the same team that you were before. But you know, I can't say enough about the guys in this team. They've done an amazing job of welcoming me and Jacob, and we feel like brothers already. So.
Remind me your home. What's your home city or home?
Davison, Michigan.
Okay, a little bit farther from home for you. Is that going to be a problem at all? Or family still going to be at most games here?
Yeah, my families are diehard me fans, so they'll be at every game, and they'll figure out how to work around it.
So I think 8 days in fall camp here. So, I mean, it's the first time Tim Lester said he's got to see him practice, obviously. But how do you feel like it's progressing for you to where you could? I know you're leading up to August 31st.
Yeah.
Hoping to be in a game.
Right. Yeah. Definitely a learning curve, but I feel like I like my performance so far in fall camp. I've definitely shown growth throughout the first practice to now, and I'm excited for how I'm gonna be when fall camp's over.
I'd say it's been a dynamic process. I had a lot of people that helped me along the way. My parents were a really great sounding board for me as I went through that process. Just all types of coaches. The coaching staff here, they're very supportive. And then when I went in, they just let me. They just said, "Go be you," and I just tried to give them a spark. So.
Sure. What was the spring like for you?
Good. It was a process of learning the entire new offense. So last year I got here in the summer, so that was a little bit. My learning curve was a little bit behind everybody else because the offense had been in before.
Yeah.
But this year, now being at the foundation, it's really helped me. I'm starting to understand, more or less the advanced stuff of the stuff Lester wants us to understand.
Sure. So, tell me about your fall camp so far. I mean,
good.
You're bringing the transfer.
Yeah.
Cade's healthy now. Yeah. Where does that put you?
Honestly, I don't know, but I'm honestly just trying to make the best of what the reps I get, and it's great. It's great to have a healthy Cade. It's great to have competition in the room because that's what we need. We need guys that are gonna bring out the best in each other, and I think we do that.
Where have you progressed the most, would you say? Maybe even since spring. We saw you in the spring game.
Yeah, I would say I progressed the most in my pocket passing.
Yeah.
Just learning reads, learning progressions, and then eliminating what not to do on certain coverages. Because I'm athletic, so I'll always have that to fall back on. But I've been able to understand coverages now, where to go with the ball. Because at the end of the day, I have to get the ball into the playmaker's hands, and that's what I want to do.